our next speaker is a frequency alchemist and powerful light worker who has the gift of perfect pitch, which allows her to recognize all other frequencies and bring her clients into a balanced state or a 0 point existence. Throughout her many lives, she is incarnated as an Arcturian, an Andromedan, and a member of the Council of Nine, and uses the frequencies and energies of those past lives in her light work today. Here to discuss how to unplug from the 3D matrix and to provide a group activation to access the 0 point without judgment for all of us is Cathleena Hailley. Welcome.
Thank you. Yay. Happy to be here.
I wish we had an applause. You know, we need to have like just this applause button to make it feel good, right? Instead of being alone in our homes. But
yeah,
happy to have you. You're very powerful. You've done many amazing things for me. So I'm really excited to see what you can do for our audience. So thank you.
Thank you. And very excited to be here. And thank you for putting this on. It's amazing. I'm very happy.
All right. Very good. Well, take it away.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. And the talk is really about, living in the 5D. And so what does that really mean? So as a frequency alchemist, what I do, or what my energy does, is it creates, we're talking about perfect pitch, it creates the ability for you to become aware of your soul signature, of what that feels like. And why that's important, especially now, is because this idea of moving from this 3D reality to a 5D reality is really taking the body into the frequency of your soul signature. So being able to bring into what I call a 0 point, or into a centered, balanced place, where you're in the moment, but without any judgment. Having your soul signature be able to do that within your body gives you opportunity to begin to feel what energies and frequencies that you have been interacting with in your physical body. And this is what's really important, I think, to understand about moving from this 3D to the 5D. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more. So kind of the difference that I see about living in, we'll call a 5D, and it's really going to move from 3 to 4 to 5. But the difference in living in that is going to be the way in which we are experiencing emotions and the type of emotions that we are actually going to experience. This earth reality, physicality experience is all based on emotions. And third dimensional emotions are ones that really create more separation, more things like, the ego that either feels diminished or feels super powerful. These emotions of shame, blame, anger, certainly fear, all of those emotions are in, we'll call the 3D reality. And when you move out of that into the fourth and so on, those particular emotions don't exist. They're not at that place. We become more unity-based, and you really feel it. And, one of the things that I've experienced just in kind of a practicality of how we've been transitioning in the day-to-day is that it seems difficult to move into what we think of this new reality or this new 5D, because, as I'm saying to you, it's not us, our soul signature, that's moving. We are vibrating at very high rates, usually 6-dimensional or above, but we don't recognize that. It's kind of like, think about it like if, the information's mixed up. We have all the information available, but it's kind of messy. Like if you had, a desk that you have all of your information and it's just a mess. And so you know that there's information there, but you don't know how to access it. You don't know where it is. This is kind of what's been going on with us. And so as we feel our soul more, as we connect with that, that begins to interact with this, we'll call it kind of your messy desk in your body, and try to organize the information in order for you to know what you're feeling, and in order to know what you want and what kind of direction that you're going. And so this is a bit of the process that's kind of going on. When that happens, most likely you're going to feel pretty uncomfortable, and you might feel very uncomfortable within your body, within your life. The reason being is because your soul, we'll call your soul signature, is vibrating at a much higher rate than your body is doing. And I've shared this before, that everything is about matching frequencies. And so really all we're doing in human existence is matching frequencies in order to be comfortable. And these frequencies are emotions. So think about it like if, and a faster frequency always tries to raise a slower one up. So think about if you and I come around each other and I'm happy and you're mad, what's going to happen is my happy's going to give your mad a bump, because it's going to try to raise it up. And so as long as I stay in happy, you really only have two choices. You either meet me at happy or you go away. That's it. Well, imagine now that your soul signature is awake and it's within your body, and your body is vibrating at these other denser rates. So now your basically soul signature is almost irritating your body. It's bugging it because it's vibrating at a different rate. What I do as a practitioner is step into your energy, which I'm doing now, and I'm not just arbitrarily talking to you. You know, this is an activation. Even as I'm speaking, I'm going to do a deeper activation to help kind of bring into this 0 point and clear some of this out. But you know, the idea of getting into the neutrality and why it's so important is because at that point, you, your soul, yourself can begin to feel what are these vibrations that are going on in my body. And instead of fighting, so to speak, you know, the energy, we can allow for the story to come forward. You know, I think really where I'd like to go, and I can get into a lot of detail about this entire process and how the body is, transcending, so to speak, into these 4D. And the idea is to anchor into 4D and then to move towards 5D. But the existence is much more about community and connectedness. And one thing that came up, I had a download kind of right before I was going to do this talk. And what I got very clear that I want to really talk about is, you know, I think the hardest thing right now, or one of the most challenging things, is in this shifting from this 3D thought process, which is, and energies and emotions, which is this idea that I'm separate and that I have to find my uniqueness. I have to become my uniqueness. And then I have to show up as that, to recognizing that I am unique. I simply need to express it and just realize that it's a given, and that's really different. And I find this even in the spiritual community where, and you may feel this, where it may be challenging to bring your gifts forward, to feel like that you really do have something that's unique and different, because there's so many practitioners out here or out there, out here, whatever, that are doing all kinds of things. And I don't even mean just necessarily active light workers, but anybody who we all have a very unique signature, and we all have a very unique purpose for being here. And so examples for me would be, I have some really amazing light workers that I know, and just amazing people that I know that I highly recommend that I work with. Carolyn Corey is one that I think is very amazing. I highly recommend her. I'd say we have a similarity to our work, but there's a big difference in what it is. And, there may have been a time where I would have even said, well, who am I and what am I doing? Because this person's already doing it. And that's really kind of what I want to get at, is that you might be doing that. You might be saying to yourself, oh, well, who am I and what am I doing? Because it's already being done. But I think as you begin to recognize there's a whole range of individuals doing light language, a whole range of individuals that are doing all kinds of frequency, energy, all kinds of things. But as I said, not even necessarily that, just being you and communicating with people. And, there's amazing people. I love Todd Medina. He's incredible. And, there's an incredible lightworker that's in the lightworker program. I'm in Ethan Fox's lightworker program. Is amazing. And there's many, many incredible lightworkers that are in there. That are friends, and just amazing people. And why I'm sharing this is because I feel like that one of the I'm watching, and maybe this is partly for you. And one of the challenging things might be that we have a dialogue that's playing out within ourselves that's not really allowing ourselves to connect and to experience other individuals and to let your own light shine, by having a dialogue that's saying somebody else is already doing this, and who am I? And maybe even having a little bit of a fear to talk about somebody else, that you might somehow be feeling that you will be diminished or you'll be lost. And I just think that it's just super important that, at least for me, that I talk about this today, because I just feel that you need to hear it, and that we all need to hear it, and that we need to recognize this dialogue in our head. And I'm going to talk about that. One of the, I think, most important things about moving from this 3D to the 5D is taking charge of your brain, of your thoughts, through the mental abilities, through the brain. This we're calling this false matrix 3D that has been here, has utilized our brains to keep us in these lower, denser emotions and these thoughts, these constant questioning ourselves, the dialogue that I'm having with you now about that second guessing myself and what am I doing, and who am I in this world. It's really important that we begin to recognize those thoughts, and not just recognize the thoughts, but recognize the emotion of those thoughts that are coming forward, because they're ones that create stress, anxiety, fears, concerns, all of that. And honestly, and I know we can say, well, it's not as easy, and they come in, and my life is the way that it is, and all this kind of stuff. But the real truth is that it's your head, and whether or not your physical reality looks however you think it looks, your thought about it and the energy that you're giving that in a now moment is you have control over 100%. And here's the magic of that. If we can begin to really take charge of that and recognize, first of all, most of those thoughts are probably not even your own. There's a collective belief system that's going on that's like throwing these thoughts into your head continually. But even if it was something that you're drawn to because of your own life experiences, if you can just simply pause that for a moment. And how do we do that? Well, and I'm going to do an activation to help do that. But if we just took a breath, with your breath actually expands your consciousness. So if you're able to just, in that moment when your head is going crazy, if you become aware, if you become the observer of your thoughts, and you start to say, I'm torturing myself, I've got this thought that's going on, and you'll recognize that you're in, maybe you're in your own home, or or it might even be at night, because these things happen where you can't possibly physically fix it or do anything about it at that moment, but you're constantly thinking about it, and feel the frequency of the thought, and feel the energy that it's in. Most likely it's in this extremely dense, and I can feel, even with a lot of you, when we get into that dense thought, it pulls down through the throat and it anchors into the heart. So it's pulling. So what it's doing is it's squeezing that heart down. And that's what is some of this mechanism that's going on in this 3D, is that when we get those thoughts, that's good. I felt people just kind of let go a little bit there. So when we get those thoughts that are really intense that are going on, there is a mechanism that's pulling through. It's taking the heart and it's squeezing it. So we want to release that, and it seems, again, challenging, but it's actually quite simple. It's really simple and simplistic in that we do have absolute control over that, especially in the moment. If you just recognize, I'm in the privacy of my home, or I'm wherever, even if you're at your job, even wherever, but that I'm repeating this thought, and how is that having me feel? And here's the kind of trick in it. It's not to replace it, because that's what we're taught in this whole 3D reality. It's that, I have to fix this, I have to correct it. Well, I'm saying to you, no, you don't. All you need to do is to just pause it. When we pause that density emotion from our thought and that happening in our body, we align with our soul signature, and we actually step into the fourth dimension, and sometimes beyond. That's us stepping into it. And the more that we can practice that and keep recognizing that, and just simply pausing those thoughts, and paying attention to the emotion, the density of that, and just simply allowing that to come into a sense of neutrality. The more that we practice that, the more we will be actually anchoring in to this fourth dimension. And what you'll begin to feel is this sense of peace and safety, and just sort of, sometimes at first it might feel like just this lighter energy that you might be feeling right now, because I'm bringing that with you into the energy. But it's more about, and this I feel is super important, is to take charge of your thoughts in this process of moving from this 3D to this 5D. This has been the mechanism, and it really is the mechanism that is keeping the denser emotions alive, is through the mind, because it's literally what I just said to you. Is I can watch it, where these denser thoughts come in, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm all by myself, or I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, or whatever stories that we're playing out. And what happens is that is an incredible density. It's also, because it's a frequency and energy, it's connected also to the collective. So it's very large. And so it's this large amount that's, kind of going into your head, running down a channel, connecting to your heart and squeezing your heart. And so when we can take charge of that and simply just be like, okay, well, maybe I don't have the solution for that right now, but this feeling that I'm having is not what I want. And one thing that I say, in order to really unplug from this 3D, and I do feel it's extremely important to completely unplug from this 3D matrix in order to really move into the fourth and fifth dimension. And again, I'm just going to keep talking about this as just emotions, in order to, let's say, really feel better, to be able to create the life that we really desire from our true multidimensional self, we have to make a real commitment that says, I'm really done with this 3D matrix. And what we're really done with is beating myself up, of feeling those, taking those thoughts in that are continually playing out in causing me to have stressors. I'm not saying that we don't have a lot going on. We do have a lot going on. But the difference is am I going to play it out, which is what this whole sort of energy that's stirring things up wants you to do, or am I simply going to come into a place of neutrality and take a breath and feel what the next steps for me are? Because it's very difficult to find what the next steps are for you if you're in that place of turmoil, in those denser frequencies that are going on. So I think this is just really important to express. Now, I want to take you into an activation and kind of a clearing of some of this 3D matrix and some of these denser frequencies that we've been experiencing, and begin to take them from your bodies so that you can not only expand your light, but that you can feel more what the higher frequencies really feel like. And I can tell that through this audience, there's a tremendous amount of the mental energy. There's a lot of still figuring out. And what I want to say to you is that we don't have to figure it out from this perspective, because figuring it out means that I'm playing the game. The whole way that this 3D has been designed is through limits and kind of containers. And when we like squeeze our brain to try to figure it out from what we already know, we're inside a container reaching for solutions that's already available, instead of using our creative ability to bring in new possibilities. And we don't realize that we're unintentionally doing that. We're stepping into limits when we are kind of using just that mental process to figure things out. So yes, is what I just felt, the energy beginning to let go. And that's really wonderful, because that's what we really need to. If we can just clear these mind channels, which I want to do. We have 3 different mind channels, and there's sort of we'll call the closest one is attaching to this grid system and to all of these systems that are here on the earth that are really designed to keep you, questioning and guessing and feeling all these different emotions. So I want to, clear those and help you take your energy outside of that, so that you can just really feel your own soul signature. And I just want to keep emphasizing that you don't have to find who you are. You simply need to breathe and allow, because there is a story of who you are that's deep inside yourself. And what this whole 3D has been doing is it's been teaching you to not show up and to have fear about being yourself, and that you have to find your own uniqueness, and that you have to compare to other people. And that's just not at all the way that it truly is. You are a unique aspect of source. You have a purpose. You have a unique energy and signature and frequency. And you chose to be here at this time, and you're amazing. And so if we can just keep bringing that, enhancing that light and expanding your light, then these denser frequencies, these denser emotions have to, like I said before about matching frequencies, if we continue to do that and we continue to shine our light in our higher frequencies, these denser frequencies don't have any choice but to either meet us or go away. It is just the way that frequency works. Great. So let's all go into this activation and clearing now. And I want everybody to just close your eyes and begin to take some nice deep breaths. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just taking some big breaths. And as this beautiful energy that we are, we're just going to keep expanding and just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. Big breaths. I'm going to step into the mind channel that I will call the closest one to you. And we're going to clear this mind channel. So we're going to intend to clear the mind channel of all lower frequencies and densities, particularly that of fear, shame, blame, anger, frustration, confusion. Take some big breaths as we're clearing this mind channel. And we're going to clear this also as best we can to the collective. So we're going to clear this. Keep breathing as we're clearing. And we're going to clear the second channel, which connects into the center of the Milky Way and any frequencies that may be interfering with you connecting to your soul family for your awareness. And really what we're doing in this channel is just a little bit of reorganization. Take a deep breath. It's kind of like we're clearing up your desk, cleaning it up so that you can have a much more available ability to receive this information clearly. It's been a little confused. So a little messy. Take some deep breaths. And then we're going to have the third channel goes directly into source. So now we're going to, beautiful. And keep breathing, big breaths. I want to move into the actual physical brain and the skull and the actual bones around the skull and the hair. And we're going to clear these frequencies of being stuck, of feeling stuck, of not knowing my sense of direction, of not knowing who I am, of not trusting. We're just going to clear that right out of the hair and the head. Take some deep breaths. We're going to expand. We're going to expand the whole frequency of your whole physical head. We're going to keep expanding that. We're going to move this also kind of into the skin, the whole skin. We're going to take out this frequency of the collective fear, this kind of concern. That's good. Take a deep breath. It's a little bit of this feeling of uncertainty, it's that feeling that I was saying about not really knowing who I am and comparing out what I'm doing. We're going to release that. So it's not super dense because a lot of you probably listening are light workers and are awake a bit more. There we go. But it's there, so we're just going to release that. Take some deep breath. Release that on both sides, the left and into the left arm, hand, body. Just keep breathing, big breath. We're going to release this off your chest, actually. It's like taking the weight off the chest, taking it off the upper, you can see it on the shoulders. A lot of the shoulds and should have the shoulders lifted off of that and off the kind of the front of the shoulders and the clavicle area and all of that. Just taking that weight off and also down into the digestion, stomach, and the solar plexus. And again, it's like ingesting these emotions and trying to digest them. We're going to release that out with a breath, a big breath. And also down through the legs and feeling I can't move, or I have to move and I don't know what to do. It's almost, there's a combination of a bit of antsy feeling and heaviness. So we're going to also release that out of the legs all the way to the feet. A big breath. And as Sophia Gaia opens up her core to bring forward these beautiful, like a crystalline diamond codes of ascension codes are moving up into your body, through your legs, all up. It's actually moving through the entire nervous system, through the legs and the whole central peripheral nervous system, up now through the spine, the whole spine, all through the body and up into the brainstem and into the brain. Bringing in these beautiful codes, keep breathing, from Gaia, ascension codes, to be reorganized. That's beautiful. Through, and now we're going to move it through the whole spine, spinal cord. And this is to help you feel your true connection as one with the earth. So this is to create some safety for you to be able to come into this 0 point. It's as though this beautiful Mother Earth, Gaia, is nurturing you, is bringing you this love and this support. And letting you know that you are not alone. And she's really connecting all of you, really from all over the world. This is this beautiful energy that's coming forward and connecting as we're bringing together these beautiful lights. You can see it like this big giant network, beautiful network. Keep breathing. Of amazing, amazing connectedness. There's just so much love. It's coming through. Just keep breathing. It's beautiful and clearing and connecting. It's beautiful. And as we bring this all the way up through the head, and we'll open up completely the crown, and we're going to just plug you directly into source, into what's called the dark womb of source. And we're going to keep transmuting back to source any of those denser frequencies, any individuals that have the fourth density frequency of what's been happening on the planet. We're going to transcend that. We're going to transmute that energy now back to source. Keep breathing. Take some deep breaths. And this is really just releasing these dense levels of fear. Wow. Just keep breathing. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. And we're just going to expand out your energy 360 degrees. I'm going to bring you all the way out to the new grid, the Earth's organic grid. Plug you firmly, completely in to anchor you into this fourth dimension towards the fifth dimension. Finally begin to release and shift once and for all those very dense frequencies from the physical body, from the physical experience. So we allow beautiful, bright white light, this huge, beautiful light. And seeing all of your heart signatures just bursting open and glowing. And feel this beautiful synergy and connectedness, oneness with the earth and with each other. Truth of who we are as this organization is taking place. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll take our attention to the heart centers and any places of feeling confused and lost and alone. We're releasing those who can feel the true oneness of your soul family, of all of us, myself, and all these beautiful, wonderful, loving individuals, including yourself, all together. As we bring this down almost into one sort of energy, coming down into the heart. Beautiful. Coming into the ultimate 0 point. Almost feeling a stillness, but a huge high frequency. And in this 0 point is this beautiful channel. All of these incredible light beings of all upon the earth and within the earth's frequencies and beyond that are now connecting their light and clearing and helping you as your soul family, as your lineage, to your understanding of the next human steps for you to take on your journey in this now moment with ease and grace and love. And it is with tremendous gratitude from all the amazing light beings that you have shown up in this now moment, and you continue to show up. There's so much love. As you begin to come forward, stepping into your body, and you begin to come more present and come forward to open your eyes. And step in beautifully. Into this energy. It was incredible. There's so much light now. It's beautiful. And I'm seeing all these beings, humans, that are all in different stages of shifting and movement. And there's this beautiful energy that's shifting and changing throughout. I'm just going to encourage you to keep allowing for this density or these emotions to just come up. You might find yourself very emotional, and you may have, stories coming forward. Just let them. The idea is to simply allow. We're just simply unfolding our story in all the lifetimes. One thing that I have recognized, I think a lot of us, there are many, many individuals that are, we'll call them the masters, and I don't mean in any greater, better, any of that way, but that have recognition of energies that they had come here and participated in this whole false matrix over periods of time. And I believe that that was myself. And so as we did that, there was this recognition that it wasn't of the best thing that we might have created. So there's then been this like coming back to try to fix it, so to speak, and reincarnating as these children is coming in. This is why a lot of you have a lot of these life experiences of different things that have taken place in your childhood and so on, because you're still clearing that we're calling karma, but it's more just energy and frequencies of experiences that you've had. You're clearing these. But I believe before this lifetime, many of us got to a point, because we knew what was going to be taking place in this particular lifetime, that this now moment was going to be happening, where we really are shifting finally into these higher dimensional energies. So before we came into this particular lifetime, we recognized that having incarnated so many times, trying to sort of fix this, it wouldn't work. We couldn't. And I don't mean fix it in a way that it was bad, because I think it's really important to understand that this is all just an experience, all of it. It's not good or bad, right or wrong, no matter what you see is going on. It's not. It's simply as an experience. This whole earth plane is about experience. There's just different levels and degrees of experience. So we just kept trying to come into a different experience. And really it was more just about ascending. It was just ascending the earth out of this 3D emotional place that it was in. And this is what we've been doing all the time, through many lifetimes. And I believe that the lifetime just before this one, there was this recognition that you can't ascend it in it. And so we made an agreement that said, before we came into this lifetime, that we weren't going to participate in this 3D, in the 3D matrix, the false matrix. But I think we didn't understand what we meant. And so I believe this is why there are so many of you, and this has been my story as well, where it's been very challenging to create physical lives in the way that we want in relationships and families and financial, all that kind of stuff, because the underlying current was that I'm not participating in this 3D. But what we meant was we're not participating in the 3D matrix. And so a lot of you probably have been awake pretty much your whole life, and you're now coming into this. And I think that's really important to understand, because if you can have that awareness that you made a decision that said, I'm not going to participate in this 3D matrix, but you want to have a physical life, that can free you. That can suddenly just release this energy that has been underlyingly keeping you from creating a life. And so if I leave you with anything today, and that was absolutely beautiful what we did, I'm going to encourage you to really recognize that unplugging from that 3D matrix is a really beautiful thing, because it's no longer creating or interacting in these denser frequencies, and it's allowing for our souls to really ascend, and allowing earth, or helping, let's just say helping and encouraging the earth and ourselves to ascend to these higher frequencies, which is really where this unity consciousness, and it's really where those frequencies of love, truth, beauty, goodness are. And where we can create this amazing world that I know we are doing and going to continue to do. So thank you. This has been amazing. I love you all. And I look forward to participating again in another date.
Thank you so much, Cathleena. We loved having you. And that was so beautiful and healing. And we received so many comments saying that was just awesome. So we're so grateful to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being here. And you guys are amazing. And Zane is amazing, people. So
yes, Thank you, Cathleena.
Beautiful.